Everyone, stick with us versus herd. If it's your first time here, you like the content, hit subscribe. If you want to get notifications before I go live, tap the bell. And if you want to join the UVH fam, our community, links are below in the Discord, in the description to our Discord and our options trading group on Facebook. If you're here right now, say what up. Just getting going here, going live a little bit earlier today. Market closes in about 5 minutes here due to Google earnings. Going to be watching Google earnings. I do have a position on Google, which I'll go over in a second here. Yo, Tobin, what's going on? Normally don't go live right now, so probably expecting a little lower than usual turnout. That's all good because we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it anyways. We're gonna be covering Google earnings here. S&Ps are up 22, Dow's up 150, NASDAQ up a whopping 132. We have NASDAQ trying to rip right now. Google trying to rip right now into the close here. Yo, James, if you're here right now, say what up. But yeah, we have Google ripping up a little bit. I have a position I'll go over with in a second, so just watching what the market's going to do. Disney was up pretty good today. What was Apple? Apple, did it come back up? Yeah, Apple's actually red right now. It ripped up to green, but now it's looking like it wants to close. It's fighting it though. Doesn't want to close red. So my Google play right now. I'll show you what I have here. Today was an overall kind of slow day for me. I'm up like 90, only $20 in realized. I didn't really do a whole lot today. Just been kind of chilling, watching where the market's going because we still have the coronavirus fears. And what I have on right now on Google. So I'm neutral. So I have an iron condor on right now. I'm looking for it to stay between 1580 and 1380. I do have $1.55 credit for that for this week's expiration. So if we go into Google, so to the high side, I'm selling these near the 1 standard deviation, and then these are just right at the 1 standard deviation. I put this trade on about 20 minutes ago. It was a little bit early, so that's why I'm now within the 1 standard deviation. These were pushing a little bit closer, and then these are right at the 1 standard deviation right now. So that's what I'm looking at on Google right now, is to stay between 1380 and 1580. That is what the plan is right now. And if we look at Google, had a nice run, came down a little bit. I'm thinking maybe 1550 or 1400, like worst case scenario. So that's why I priced it that way. So I was thinking maybe 1550 to the upside, maybe 1400 to the downside, and that's why I'm selling the 1380 put and then the 1580 call. So we're playing it safe. Very rarely, except for Amazon that I did last week, very rarely do I put a position on for earnings that's directional. So we have about a minute 40 left in the trading hour. See what these Google numbers are going to come in at. Anyone else here trading Google? If you're here, say what up. So market is still open right now. See what these numbers coming in at. Roku had a pretty crazy day today. It closed down at like 120, 121 yesterday on Friday. Popped up to 129.50. Man, that's crazy. Boeing didn't do so well today. It tried. Boeing tried, this faded. Boeing's looking like a very much like fade the pop type of stock these days, But I don't know, I'm staying out of it. Oh, James, you did? Nice. What's your position? What's your position, James? You have an iron condor, or you train directional? I was thinking about buying a share. Crazy run already today. Oh, $52. So that's why I liked that it ran $52 today, and that's why it really helped me put that iron condor on, because we already ran $52, and the expected range for this week's 88. So is it going to run another $88 on top of the $50? I was thinking probably not. Next week's $10 more expected move is 98. I was looking at next week, but I decided to go this week just because it's Monday. You know, if today was Thursday or Wednesday, I probably would have gone into next week, but we'll see what happens. As you can see, the option pricing is all over the place here. It's saying I'm up it's saying I'm up 160 on this. I'm definitely not. Option pricing is all over the place. All right, market just closed. Let's see what it do. Let's see what happens here with the earnings. So S&Ps were just pretty much all flat rest of the day. We had some action this morning. We spiked up to 32.67, then back down. We gave up 25 points, and then just kind of it just pretty much just killed premium the rest of the day. So we'll see how much right now. Option pricing got crazy at the end. They're saying I'm max profit when I know that's not true. So we're just waiting for those earnings to come in right now. On Google. Disney held up pretty good today too, up $3. Should have held that 140 call though from Friday, but I was too chicken. But I mean, I made 60%. I'm not gonna complain. Not gonna complain at all. See here while we wait. Stocks rebound from Friday's deep sell-off, but coronavirus still lingers. We know that. I don't think we had one coronavirus besides this little notification like all day today. Nike was 3.7% higher. Tesla's up 13%. They had an upgrade. We can look at Tesla in a second. Let's see, is Google's moving? All right, Google's moving a little bit. So for Google, like I said, to the upside, I need below 1580 to the upside. So 1380 and 1580. That's my range right now. So below 1580, above 1380, and we're good. Anything above that or below that, not good. Looks like Google's moving. I don't see their earnings out yet. $15.10 up to $15.25. I don't think the earnings are out yet. People getting buying some last minute stock. Let's see what happens here. $45 range in after hours already though. Oh man, $75 range right now after hours on Google. Down to $14.30, $14.39. Driving, keeping me informed, please. I will. Keith, keep your eyes on the road. I'm your eyes in the sky. Right now, $14.28. I'm waiting for the numbers to come through. I just picture when the earnings come out, like all the people at like CNBC and all those people are like, just like typing away as frantically as they can. Like, who's gonna be first? Who's gonna be first? That's what happened to the Kobe Bryant news, and it was all jacked up. And probably there's going to be lawsuits over that stuff, you know? All right, Google's at 14.12. So, it's getting close to the bottom end of the range here. So I'm at 1380, or 1580, sorry. 1580 to the downside. If it opens up around like 1400 on break even tomorrow, I'm gonna be outie. I'm not gonna wait for it. It's at 1403 right now. 1400. Woo. See here, I'm trying to find the Google earnings. CNBC hasn't updated them yet. Let's check here. So it's at 14.15, touch 13.98 to the downside, man. People get so pissed too, like after a day like today, up $50, and for the stock to go down that much after hours, like people get pissed. All right, looks like we got Google's coming in now. CNBC just pushed out an alert. Okay. So, missed sales. Let's see here. Okay. So it's at 14.25 EPS, 15.35 per share versus 12.53. So that's a nice blowout. Let's see if it opened up any more here. So I think they're still updating it. Right now it's at 14.23 on Google. Yo, Dave, what's going on? What does the stock know that I don't know? Why is it going down so much? It's not the stock knows. Let's see here. Trying to find. They're kind of slow to. They're kind of just slow to update. They put down EPS, but they don't put down guidance or nothing. Nothing. Sometimes Market Watch is better. Let's try to find a more accurate. It's at 14.48. Man, if this comes in flat, I'm gonna be thrilled. Even though I just did a small trade, I don't go big. I don't go big for earnings. You know, that's how you gamble and you get caught up in. I don't see Google. Market Watch hasn't reported yet. All right, Google's at 14.56. That's decent. Yo, Edwin, what's going on? I did not play Tesla. I'm boycotting. I'm boycotting Tesla till it is reasonable. Reasonable movement. Which I did. Yeah, I think we all did. Yeah, I only got a 155 credit for my Iron Condor. All right, come on. Okay, so it's currently at 14.51, which is decent. Google broke out numbers for YouTube and cloud for the first time on Monday. The move toward greater transparency. So this is what I'm talking about for the YouTube revenue for, under their compliance in the government. Let's see here. Analysts have long called for Google to report the YouTube's earnings. So they can tell us what they are. Google's cloud business is a younger but fast-growing segment of the business with ambitions to take on Amazon Web Services and Microsoft Azure. In July, Google said its cloud unit had just $8 billion in annualized revenue. Okay. They do not have what those numbers are. Okay, so revenue, we already covered EPS. Revenue came in at $46.08 billion versus $46.94 billion. So they missed on revenue, beat on EPS. Yo, Brooklyn, yeah, because it went nuts. Tesla went nuts today on that upgrade. I was laughing at a guy who bought a 750 call. Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, I bought an $800 strike call on Tesla for like a month out, and everyone's like, nah, bro, just sit down, man. You're dumb. And then all those people are like, hey, look at you, not making any money on the sidelines. At least I didn't short it. I'd rather not make any money than short it. And going long, I don't know. I don't know. YouTube revenue is $15 billion. out of the 46. 15 billion out of the 46. I can't trade Tesla right now. And I'm not willing to pay the premiums and the credit spreads. I mean, it keeps going beyond the expected move. That doesn't work. And debit spreads are not really beneficial either with high implied volatility. So I see there's a lot of ways you can get screwed. I think you just have to, if you're interested in buying Tesla, you just close your eyes and you hit buy, and then you come back a week later and you feel good. You know? There we go. They're literally updating it. James, they're updating it as you're updating it. James is a writer for CNBC. He's literally updating it right now. Yeah, YouTube ads generated 4.72 billion in the fourth quarter. So if Google opens up around here, like I said, I need to be above 1380 and below 1580. If it opens up at 1450, 1445, I mean, we're going to see some good premiums on that. We're going to collect that premium. So right now, the expected move on Google was $83, and right now it's down. It's down a little bit less than 40, like 38. If you're here right now, say what up. Do me a favor, hit the like button. I would appreciate it. Thank you so much. You guys are the best. But we're having a good time. We're having a good time today. You know, didn't make a lot of money, but didn't lose my shirt either. I've been going slow. On the coronavirus. So I mean, I only made $20 realized. I'm up a little bit on my Disney call. I'm up 16%. Google. Numbers got all jacked up on Google, down a little bit on Shake Shack because I'm an idiot. And I held too long. All right, Google's at 1432. So I still have a $50 cushion. However, it did come down to 1398, which is not good. All right, so Alphabet reported YouTube advertising and cloud revenues as separate line items. For the first time, YouTube generated $4.72 billion in ad revenue during Q4, up from $3.61 billion a year ago, while cloud generated $2.61 billion in revenue, up from $1.7 billion a year ago. So, like for me, I like that. You know, when selling premium, I like that it came up $49 today. Google ran $49 today, which is great for wanting to sell premiums. Like I like that it has been running. This time last year, the company showed its first signs of a slowing advertising business after reporting its fourth quarter earnings for fiscal 2018. Then in the spring, it posted its worst post-earnings day since April 2010. After reporting sluggish advertising numbers, the stock dropped 7.5%, shaving more than $67 billion from its market cap. So at least it's not doing that. You know? So trying to turn it around. More recently, the company's stock performance has picked up after the promotion of Google's CEO Sundar Pichai to take over the top spot of Alphabet CEO. In your experience, how often do stocks stay within the expected move during earnings? They stay within. I think they stay within the expected earnings more times than not. You know, if you were to trade, let's say, if you were to trade every single earnings, and you were to deploy your capital, more times than not, they would be within. However, when they do exceed the expected move, it's going to hurt a lot. It's going to hurt a lot. As you can tell with like Tesla, Amazon, all those premium sellers got burned. So then you really have to do the math, okay, and you have to do the research. So that's why I only enter in the earnings trades that I know that I have a high probability of winning. I don't try to just like, oh, these 5 stocks have earnings today, I'm going to trade all 5, see what happens, because maybe you'll win 4, but then on the one it exceeds expectations and you blew out all your profits. So I've been really particular about the earnings that I do trade. So if I do trade earnings, I like to sell premium for that because you have more things working for you than against you, and that's always the goal with options trading. You're always trying to find that edge. You always want to have things working for you versus more things working against you. Because tomorrow for Google, what's going to be working against us? Theta, implied volatility, all that stuff's going to get crushed, and the premium buyer is going to have a hard time. Now for like Tesla and Amazon, because it went far outside the expected move, I mean, sure, you're still going to get you're still going to get IV crush, you're still going to get hit by theta, but the options weren't priced in a way to handle that, so that's why the premium buyers are winning on that end. Now, what you don't want to have happen, like what a lot of people do, they get these ideas, right, is because Amazon went far beyond the expected move, they're going to take their profits, store that in Google, and now look what happens. Now Google's within the expected move, and those people are going to get burned. So that's why you always want to protect your capital. If you win big, protect your capital. Don't keep rolling and rolling and rolling, because eventually it's going to catch up with you, and you lose all your profit. David, there's no difference really. Maybe some liquidity. My preference is trading the one with the L. It's all about preference. So right now Google's coming down to 1432. Am I planning on holding that Diz call through earnings or no? I'm not sure. I had the 140 call. I was holding the 140 call I sold on Friday on Disney. Let me pull it up. So I had the 140 call, but implied volatility increased so much, it went from 216 up to 340 without the stock even moving. The stock moved literally 50 cents, and I went up from 216 to 340, which is incredible. Implied volatility really kicked up. Disney didn't go down, didn't go up or down really. It was up 50 cents, closed the day up 50 cents. So I closed it out because I'm like, all right, I don't know what's going to happen this weekend. Is the coronavirus going to be crazy? The coronavirus news going to be crazy? So then I reloaded today at open, 15 minutes into open, 16 minutes into open. I bought the 143 call for 315 now. But I got a really, really great deal on that 140 call. Probably should have just held it, but locked in the profits. I have a problem. I just want to lock in my profits because, as you can see here, I didn't lock in my profits on Shake Shack. And what am I doing right now? I'm freaking bag holding. I was up $80 on it, and now I'm down $83 on it. So, that's how it goes. Right now, Google's landing perfectly. If it can open up around 1450, 1460, I mean, it's going to be some nice premiums. Disney's moving up. Disney, I think, is going to be. Oh, Edwin, you have a 1660 call? Ripped, man. And it expires this week. So what did you pay for that? 1660. Oh, man. Why did you buy the 1660? Just curious. The 1660 call? 1660? Those were going for like $600. And that was like $200 outside the expected move. Sorry to hear, man. But what you can do is learn from the experience. And when you lose on a trade, you have to think back and figure out, hey, what screwed me on that trade? What did I do wrong? You may have the right idea, but the wrong strategy. You know what I mean? Like, you may have a good idea, but you have to put the two together. This is chess. This is more advanced than just picking the right direction. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't understand that you can have the direction right, but the strategy is wrong and you lose money. You're like, oh, we see a lot of that happen to a lot of people. It's like, hey, the stock isn't moving, but my premium, my options going down. I'm losing money. I don't understand. And then it happens. So that's why, before risking big sums or really any money, you really need to learn all the ways you can get screwed. Once you learn the ways you can get screwed, you'll start making money, because then you're either going to avoid those ways, or you're going to use those ways to make money, right? So it's basically the market's goal is to take your account value down to zero, right? And your goal is to make sure that your account value never goes to zero. So who's gonna win? You know, who's gonna win? You want them to take your money? You're gonna let them take your money? I mean, every day this is a battle. It's a war. You gotta suit up. You gotta play defense. Sometimes you gotta get aggressive, and then there's times that you gotta be like a pacifist. You gotta say, okay, no. I don't know if you guys saw the Zombieland double tap, but they had the hippie colony, and before entering the colony they make you melt your guns and all that. So sometimes you gotta know when not to fight the battle. Like shorting Tesla. Don't fight the battle. Don't fight the battle. It looks very, very tempting. I admit, for shorting, it looks very, very tempting because it can go down $100, $200, $300, $100 in a day. But who's going to win? Are they going to bleed you out? The market's goal is to take your account down to zero. Don't let them do it. Got Tesla debit spread 800, 805 for the week. I think they have the momentum. I say they have the momentum, all right. Yeah, Tesla's at 776. I mean, might even hit 800 after hours, honestly. Who knows? People keep shorting, and that's why it does this, you know? Yo, glad you're here. So right now, Google's down to 421. I got a 40-point range right now, so 1380. I needed above 1380 for the downside. See if there's any updates here in terms of. Okay, nothing new. So, you know, it's gonna burn some premium, but when a stock runs $50 in a day and they have earnings that day, just be mindful that it decreases the chance it's going to move beyond the expected move. So just be mindful. The good news is you held 5 Disney calls from Friday. That is good. That is good news. So for me, if I was up a lot on those Disney calls, I would cut three to four of them, and then ride the 1 or 2 into earnings. But that's just me. Keith is looking better than me and you, Nick, on that Google Iron Condor. Yeah. What did he have? Keith had the. Oh, he had the 13. He had 1380 as well. So he had 1380. I had the 1380 put as well. So we got 40 points. We got 40 points to the downside right now. So hopefully it stays within there. Call should be worthless. So we'll see what happens. No, Keith had, looking at here, Keith had the 1380 as well. He had a higher range. I had the 1580 call. He had the 1600 call. It would have made 1,000 on Tesla today. Nice. Should have traded Tesla, but whatever. You know. But yeah, tomorrow we have Disney, Snap, Chipotle. So I'm thinking for Disney. I'm thinking on Disney right now. I think before earnings is at least coming to 145. I think tomorrow. Now this is my prediction. I don't know if this is going to happen. So, entertainment purposes only, not investment advice, right? So, my thing, I think tomorrow, Disney's going to go to 145, and potentially after earnings go to 150, 155, and that's being reasonable. So what I might do, depending on how it goes tomorrow, I might sell my 143 call and either lock in a debit spread or do a call like the 145 call. We'll see. But maybe for next week. But now, so this week's are now up to 70% implied volatility and 48. These were actually last week. The implied volatility for this week's expiration was like 50, and next week's was 30%. And that shows you we've had about a 20% implied volatility increase on these options. So that's why they're getting more expensive as we get closer. So take care, James. So for Google, yeah, we're at 14.27 right now. I'm going to go through some of my trades where I did today. Not a whole lot today. I did open up Disney. So yeah, I did buy that 143 call. I did close /ES out. So /ES, I was mostly trading. So I opened them for, where is it? So I opened these on Friday. I bought the 330 calls for $1.15. I sold them this morning for $1.60. So that was nice. I had two of them. However, then I bought two more later in the day for $1.05, and I sold them for 80 cents. So then I'm only up $20 on the day on that, mainly because it just stayed flat. I could have closed them out for a profit here, but it just stayed in a range all afternoon. So I sold on this uptick here. Was really nice spike. Then when it came back down, had a great entry. However, it just never really broke out of the range. It's just stuck here. So the premium crush got me. So I lost a little bit on that. So, but overall, not gonna hate Tesla. I mean, people are making money hand over fist, but I just don't like trades that are too easy. You know what I mean? I just don't get involved. Like I think to a fault that, for me personally, I get to a place where that I think that if it's too easy, I shouldn't trade it. But then those trades are the ones that make the most money, right? So, and then in terms of like us versus herd, I'm very against the mentality that if everyone's in on the same trade, eventually it's going to go south. The market's going to find a way to screw you. If every single person has Tesla calls, they've squeezed out every single one of the bears at this point. I mean, it's ridiculous. They squeezed out every single bear. And now we're at 780 and everybody is long. But timing the top, I mean, what are you going to do? They're going to bleed you out before you can bleed them out. That's for sure. Edwin's going to sell Disney 146. Nice. You're probably up a couple bags though. So that Google trade that you bought for $300 is not going to be so bad, but I think shorts are still piling in. Danley, I do think so as well. But the question is how the capital and the margin that you need to sustain moves like this. Eventually, if you don't have the capital and you're on margin, you can't pay the interest. You're going to get margin called. So, and there's a lot of, because Tesla's so high profile now, there's a lot of beginner traders that don't understand the risk of trading or shorting something like this. I mean, I've gotten probably thousands of comments on YouTube and Facebook and Discord and Twitter, Instagram, that people have gotten caught up in crazy amounts of debt and a mess only because they didn't understand the fundamentals of putting on that trade. Tom Sauce is still is he still shorting? I haven't kept out. Is Tom Sosnoff still shorting Tesla? So, we'll see. And then the other problem is, like, on a little bit of weakness, they thought that Tesla down here in the 500 area, that was it made a high here at 596, then it made one at 570, and then at 550 they thought, okay, we're gonna come down to 400, 375, and then they got wrecked. Literally wrecked. I mean, at this point on the yearly, no other bar matters. Today was the only bar that mattered. I didn't even trade it. But I mean, are you willing to pay for a weekly $30? $30 for at the money. 845 is going for $12. The 845 calls. For next week, the 850s are going for $24. You willing to pay that? What if we get a flat week? What if we get a flat week on Tesla? Those premiums are going to go, it's over. But this is the spreads. This is a good example though of like I've been using RSI and stuff to kind of help you out with trades, and this kind of shows you that RSI has been Tesla has been oversold since December 13th, and people think that just because RSI is overbought, just because RSI is overbought, could be for oversold too, but just because RSI is overbought, it needs to come back into range. And look, it hasn't been into it's been overbought since December 13th, December 16th, and has not come down. I mean, sure, it's dropped a little bit in terms of RSI, but so just be aware if you're just using one indicator. I mainly use RSI to kind of back up my beliefs when things maybe get a little hairy, but just be careful that using any one indicator is not a tried and true. It's not going to work out, because if it's going to work out every single time, I mean, it's going to be really easy, really predictable. And I think a lot of times we forget as traders that all this information, everyone else has access to the same amount of information that you do. So you don't really have an edge there. You know what I mean? Spreads make bread. Yeah, I mean, spreads. I was eyeing reverse iron condor for Tesla this week. So you're doing a debit iron condor. So you're looking to do like a so for this week, like buy the at the money and then sell like out here. Something like that. Max profits 2,000. Max losses 4,000 though. But yeah, you can do a debit iron condor, sure. Sure can. Just got to make sure. I mean, right now for this spread, I just put it together quickly. Didn't really put any thought into it. I mean, you need it below 740 or above, unless you like skewed it like unless you skewed it to the upside. So if you think it's gonna be upside, you can do something like this, where let's say you want to do something a little bit. Let's go down to 750. So now your max profit is 3,400, max loss is 2,800, and now you only need it to be like 811, 810 area. And I say only, that's 30 points, but it moved $129 a day. So the premium is going to be through the roof. That's the only problem right now. So, I mean, there's a lot of ways to make money on Tesla. Just for me, over the years I've trading, I noticed that, I don't even know what to say. Moving $129 a day, it's nuts. So let's look at Google real quick. So Google's at 1420. Again, I need to be above 1380 for my iron condor to work out. I thought you always wanted to do credit for iron condor. You can do a credit or a debit for a vertical spread. You could do a credit spread. You could do a debit spread. You could do whatever you can do for credit, you can do with debit as well. So like I said, learn your strategies. There's a time and place for every single strategy that's out there. You may have the right idea, but the wrong strategy, and that will make it or break it in terms of if you make money or not on that trade. So, yeah, I mean, the debit iron condor would have worked amazing today. Lower your cost basis. But did we know it was going to run? Tesla's going to run 130 points today. So yeah, I mean, you can do any trade that you want for a debit or a credit at any time. So, other than that, today was pretty chill for me. Looks like Disney is running up above 142 after hours, so that's nice. I might be looking to getting some /ES in here after hours. Any trades you guys want to look at before I jump off? I might be trading ES here shortly. You know what ran today was Square. Square ran from 75 up to 79.94. I mean, look at that. insane. I watch Square every day and I just don't trade it. It's just crazy with Square. With Square's earnings are, when are they? February 20, not till February 26th though. How about AIMT with the FDA approved peanut allergy? I was actually looking into that. My son actually has a peanut allergy, and we were looking at that for him. But it didn't really seem to do anything with the stock. Sure, after hours or pre-market, it moved, but it dropped. It dropped right at open. So, I hope that it works. I mean, volume is really good, even though they only have monthlies. So I might actually be looking. I actually might be looking to put on some of these trades here for them. I'm just trying to see how it moves because I've never traded before, but I do like where it's heading, and they did get that FDA approval. I just don't know in terms of the stock how it moves because I've never traded it before. So, yeah, I mean, I think that drug was widely publicized. It was on every news outlet this weekend. If you know anyone that has a peanut allergy, like I said, my son has a peanut allergy. That would be a drug. Right now, there's nothing on the market. People, all they tell you for peanut allergies is, hey, hope for the best. Hopefully, it'll get better. But there's no like real treatments or anything for that. If they develop a treatment that a patient can progress, and my son's anaphylactic, so if he ingests anything, he could be dead. And you want to take that burden off the patient. You want to take that burden off of loved ones as well. So if this works, I mean, if it reduces the risk of death, I mean, it's worth it, And I know it's going to be expensive, but what's the price of someone having anaphylactic shock that you love? So I'm a little bit selfish. I hope that it works out, but I mean, there's a lot of it's beneficial to me, my family, my son. So I hope that it does work, and I think it would ease a lot of burdens and a lot of unnecessary deaths of accidentally ingesting something that you're allergic to that you could potentially die from. So, the peanut allergy is one of the scariest ones because every kid, they have peanut butter jelly sandwiches. I mean, it basically, we have to check every single packaging when we go out to restaurants. We have to be extremely safe, but there's also the human error of things. Like, what if somebody forgets to wash their hands after making peanut butter jelly sandwich, and then they make your kids food, or a person with a peanut allergies food? So, mainly, for me, I wouldn't look for the drug to actually cure somebody, but mainly to lower the risk so that if they do ingest peanuts, they're not going to die. I think that is the end goal for that, So on that note, I'm going to take off. We're going to get it today. Google's going to be right now. It's at 14.17, so it's on the low end of the range. So we'll see what happens. As always, stay safe, stay green. It's us versus herd.